So let's talk about reading, and kids get a really bad rep for not wanting to read from their parents or just adults in general because usually the most common thing to say is, you know what, these kids nowadays, they don't want to read. All they want to do is play video games or watch TV, and that may actually be true, but it's more than just kids because most of the people complaining about this are doing the exact same thing, right? So most adults, they also don't want to read. Now, if you're watching this video right now, chances are you've watched more Netflix, you've covered more entertaining series since the start of 2022 than the amount of books that you've actually read this year. So you may have watched like 3, 4, 5 different series on Netflix since the start of this year, and you may have read like one book, and that one is being generous because some people may not read any books all throughout the year. Now, reading does have its benefits, especially if you're into, let's say, personal finance and investing. If you're trying to make money, then reading has a lot of benefits. And the main point of this video is to help you if you're struggling with reading. So maybe you don't read any books at all, or maybe you're trying to read, or maybe you want to read, but it's just not something that you're into. Maybe you think it's boring, and the main goal of this video is to help you to start reading if you don't like reading. Now, I think that most people don't actually hate reading. They just got turned off from reading because they grew up and they were kind of forced or introduced to reading books that they didn't necessarily like. So for example, when I was in high school, some of the first books that I came across that I can actually remember off the top of my head right now were books that I had, or books that had to deal with math. And I'm usually not really good at math. It's not something that I ever enjoyed. And I'm being honest, I always thought that anything beyond basic math is ridiculous because yes, you need to know how to add, subtract, divide, basic functions like that without using a calculator. But when it comes on to algebra, or let's say trying to figure out what the square root of x is and all that stuff, I just thought it was ridiculous and that I was never actually going to use that in the real world. So for that reason, I wasn't interested. So again, those are the books that I was introduced to. Those were the books that I was told that I would have to read. And so that kind of put me off from reading any books. So similarly, I think that most people usually come across books earlier in their life that they aren't interested in, and they're somewhat forced or pressured into reading these books, and it just turns them off from reading books in general. But what I found out later on in life is that if you actually read a book that you're actually interested in, it's a totally different feeling. So for example, in my case, when I read the book The Millionaire Next Door, I actually read through that book in probably just about 2 days, and I actually enjoyed reading that book. It was unlike any other book that I've ever read before, and one of the main reasons for that was that I was already highly interested in personal finance and that niche. I wanted to find out where the millionaires lived, how they made their money. I wanted to know what kind of jobs they had. I wanted to know what cities they moved to after they became millionaires. I wanted to learn about these people. And because I was already interested in that topic, I enjoyed reading that book. So I think it's going to be the same for everyone. If you are interested in a particular topic and you start reading books on that topic or in that niche, then you're going to enjoy reading those books as opposed to all the books that you had to read in the past that you had a little to no interest in. So you may actually be good at reading and you may actually enjoy reading if you go out there and you read books that you're actually interested in, and all you need to do is to just try this. Now, before we go any further in this video, if you're new to the channel or this is the first time that you're seeing me, my name is Ian, and on this channel I talk about ways to make money, ways to save money, ways to invest your money. I talk about bank accounts, credit cards, and just about everything to do with personal finance. So if you like these videos and you like these types of topics, be sure to one, give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. It's 100% free, won't cost you anything. Also, be sure to subscribe with the notifications on, and that way you'll never miss any of the updates of when I post new videos on this channel. So again, you may not hate reading, you may just not like reading things that you're not interested in. And so that's the first part of this. So now the first thing that you need to do is to try to read things that you're actually interested in. And the second thing is that you need to figure out if you're actually a reader. Meaning, if you enjoy reading physical books, you want to go on Amazon and purchase these books and then actually read them, or if you're a listener. Are you someone that prefers to just listen to audiobooks instead of actually reading a physical book? Now, this doesn't have to be that complicated. For example, if you have a lot of free time where you can actually sit and read a book and you think you may like that, then that's great. But if you're only free, or the only free time you have is while you're commuting to and from work, while you're taking the subway or while you're driving, then it may be best to get audiobooks, and that way on your 30-minute commute daily, you can listen to this audiobook or even while you're working out at the gym. Now, fun fact here to point out is that people usually listen to music while they're at the gym, but if you have a book, especially if it's like a motivational book or something that you're really into, you can actually listen to that while you're at the gym, and it has the same effects on you as if you were to listen to some pumped up music while you exercise. Now, if you're like me, you can try doing both or a mix of both. You can read books in your spare time. You can also listen to audiobooks on your commute, whether you're driving or taking a bus or a subway or something else. Maybe you're flying somewhere. You can actually listen to an audiobook, which helps you to pass the time. It also helps you to learn more about things that you actually want to learn more about. Now, with that said, there are three important things that you need to have if you want to pull this off. If you want to start reading a lot more, you need to figure out when you're actually going to do this reading. Are you going to do it at home before bed? Are you going to do it the first thing in the morning when you wake up? Are you going to do it while you're at the gym? Are you going to listen to audiobooks while you're driving or on the subway or on a bus? And then the second thing that you need to know right now is the dates when you'll actually be doing this. So for example, if you're going to listen to an audiobook while you commute to work, then you know that you're going to do this every Monday to Friday at X time. And then the third thing that you want to do is you want to know how long you're going to be spending on reading. Is this going to be for 30 minutes? Is it going to be for an hour? And all you're trying to do right here is you're trying to create like a reading schedule. Now, this will help you to plan out for your reading. So for example, if you know that you're not actually going to read any books and instead you're going to listen to audiobooks, then you can think about the best time when you can do this. And if in your case, the best time to do this is while you're on the bus or on the subway, then you know that, okay, every day from 7 to 7:30 a.m., I'm going to listen to an audiobook for 30 minutes while I'm on the bus or on the subway or while I'm driving. And so it becomes a habit that every day or every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, between the hours of 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., you listen to 30 minutes of an audiobook that you're actually interested in. And within a week or 2 weeks, you're actually going to complete 1, 2, or possibly even 3 books that you were highly interested in. So right there, you just went from not reading any books, thinking that you don't like reading, and getting involved in reading and actually learning stuff in just a week or 2 weeks. Now, I know this sounds easy, and it is actually easy. There's nothing complicated here about reading if you start approaching it this way. Now, the next part of this is that you also need to determine how much money you're willing to spend or how much money you can spend when it comes on to reading books. So for example, you need to find out what niche the books you like are in, and then you need to think about what it costs to either buy these books or pay for these audiobooks. And actually, if you guys want to use audiobooks, you can actually do this for free, or at least you can get like a 30-day trial from like Amazon or some other service, and this way you can start listening to ebooks for free, and then if you like it, then you can start paying for that subscription. Now, I have a link down below to 3 books that I think everyone should read, and those books are really informative books, and they all cost less than $25. So similarly, you need to think about the cost, and not only the cost of purchasing the actual books or paying for the subscription to audiobooks, but also the knowledge that you're getting from the book. So for example, if you're going to be reading books about investing, let's say you want to learn how to invest in the stock market, and I keep making these videos and you keep watching my videos and you think it's cool, but you want to verify that I'm actually telling you the right thing. And so you can go out there, you can purchase a book that teaches you how to invest into stocks, and you can pay $15 for this book. Now, if you read the book and you don't take any action, then that's going to be a problem. That's a waste of $15. So instead, what you want to do is you want to take the knowledge that you got from the book, and you want to use that knowledge to either make more money or to help you with whatever issues or apply it to whatever part of your life that you can actually apply it to. And then that way you actually benefit from reading that book and benefit from spending money to read that book. So the point here is you don't want to just go out there and just start buying random books and reading them if you know that you're actually or you're never going to apply the knowledge that you get from these books. Instead of doing that, you want to buy books that you are interested in, but also books that you know when you learn something from them, you're actually going to use the information that you learn, and that way you're actually benefiting from the books that you're paying for. Now, this is also helpful because this will help you to want to read more, because if you read something and you apply it and you get a positive result, then that's going to motivate you to go and read more books, because now you realize that you can read these books, you can pay $15 or $20 for a book, you can read them, you can learn things and you can apply it to your life, and then it will actually help you. Now, finally, I think reading is very important, and reading books, especially finance related books, gives you the ability to get information from people that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get that information from if it weren't for the books. So for example, if you want to become a millionaire, right? You may be the average person and you may not know any millionaires that you can personally go and talk to. So instead, you could read a book that was written by somebody that was an average person, an average working person, and they became a millionaire. You can learn something from that book that will help you to become a millionaire, or help you to learn more about that person's life, their business, what they did, how they transitioned from being an average working person to becoming a millionaire. And then you can read 5 books from 5 different people, and this way you get 5 different perspectives, and this way you also get access to information from people who you wouldn't otherwise be able to talk or interact with. So because of this, I think reading is very important, and I would encourage everyone to read books, or at least books that you are interested in. And with that said, comment down below and let me know what you think about reading books as an adult. Do you think I am right when I say that people don't actually hate reading, but instead they just got put off from reading because they were forced or somewhat pressured into reading books probably in school that they weren't interested in? And also let me know if you're going to try to read more books now, or if you've already read a lot of books, let me know your experience with reading and actually enjoying reading. So that's it. I hope you guys found some value in this video. If that's the case, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to subscribe with the notifications on, and that way you'll never miss any of the updates of when I post new videos on this channel. And if you guys ever want to talk to me one-on-one, you can message me on Instagram. Link is down below in the description. And with that said, all the best, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.